possibly about 6 months or so, Reform started a branch in Warrington. I was shouting at the television and saying, I don't like what's going on in the country. I need to do something about it. And my wife said to me, why don't you? So at the next meeting, I turned up and they were looking for volunteers and a committee was involved. And then the Warrington Great Sankey North and Whittle Hall came up as an opportunity to stand. And they were looking around the room, and I'd written a little bit of a speech to say, given an opportunity, I'd stand. So put my hand up again, I was voted on. Bit of a shock really, but hey, the way it works. All these good gentlemen here and others within the group were very, very supportive. Considering we'd only had, was it about 4 or 5 weeks, something like that, 6 weeks, to try and put something together. I'd never stood in a by-election or anything before, but I thought this time, let's give it a good go. And with the support of everybody, we put ourselves forward, ended up in the Warrington Guardian, and then the vote was taken and I lost by 30 votes. So it was really, really close. Disappointing, obviously, but as Jack said, I'll be back. So that's my motto as well. A little bit about me. I'm a consultant engineer. I also work in the nuclear area around. I also do a little bit of oil and gas and those kind of things. I have my own company, but I also work in with companies as well. And as I say, the Great Sankey North election was a very, very tight race, and only because we had an independent who had a big following, I lost on that. I think on that behalf. So I'll hear. I think a lot of people have stolen my thunder in actual fact, because coming on a little bit down the line, I've got a few points that I've got to which concern me in the Warrington area. And one thing which we've alluded to is basically there's an awful lot of building that goes on in Warrington, and I think they're trying to buy themselves out of debt. But what they don't bring with that, and I found this by knocking on doors. There was a lovely new housing estate, and I talked to them, to the people at the door. The guy came to the door. He said, what are your concerns in the area? And he said, well, we came here with the intention of having a family, putting our children in the school, and we were promised we would get doctors, we would get dentists, and community areas. He said it didn't materialise. So that's one of the big things. And basically, it looks like Warrington, every green space that's available, they're looking to put housing on it. And what doesn't come with it, you don't get the infrastructure. The roads are not fit for purpose with regard to how many cars can travel on it, and it's gridlocking large areas of Warrington. First thing in the morning, trying to get to work, etc. So I think the planning, the organisation, and what it just does not seem to be there. Right, let's go to my next point. In Warrington now appears to be a lot of HMOs appearing, and it doesn't look as though the council are giving due credit to the people who live in those areas, because if they come up with say they don't want those HMOs in their area, they don't give them the credence, and that's something that is important in my belief. Okay, let's go to the next one. Right, and I think this is one that John alluded to. I've got this also about Warrington Hospital. The hospital, we've got the same hospital that we've had with small expansions in various areas, but it's exactly the same hospital we've had for 30, 40 years. We haven't got another one on the horizon. So you've got people there, as John's alluded to, they go in and if even with a very serious condition, you're sat there waiting for 12, 14, 15 hours, which is just not acceptable. I know that's an MP's role, but hey, our council should also be pushing and pressing the MP to bring that up in Parliament, etc. Long-term vision for Warrington, I don't think they've got one. We need one, but I don't think our council has that. They've not got that in there. What about politics? It's also politics, it's also about the people. It's about the people who, we all live in the area. Local politics and national politics, it's all affected. So, what can I say? We need, from our council and our elected people in Parliament, we need accountability, transparency, and we also need, mostly, leadership, which we don't seem to have. So what can I say here? Well, how can we change this? Well, I would say, both nationally and locally, vote reform. And that's me.